welcome to another episode of Roses Are Red podcast with your host, Mrs. Red Rose, her co-host, Sam I Am from the Married Couple Podcast, and AC from Midnight Media.
Welcome in, everyone. Welcome in. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
That beat is a banger. God, I wonder who made it.
I don't know.
Some talented artist.
I know. It was
Probably
great.
struggling.
Great. Well, we have our headlines and updates and stories, crazy ones to tell tonight. And hope everybody enjoyed our Friday night show.
Oh, what was that about? What do we talk about on Friday?
Friday, we're actually having we had a special guest on, and a returning special guest, which is awesome. Sam's sister.
Yeah, Jamie's going to be, or will have joined us. We were telling
It was
the
awesome.
story. Yeah. We told the story of Timothy Ferguson, how his mom and brother did some horrible things. So I know it was great.
It's going to be future great.
Yes.
So let's get into it tonight. You know, this is our short headline. I always want to say headlights.
True crime in the headlights.
Headlights. I almost wrote that down too.
Just run with it. Just do it. Fuck it.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie. I almost wrote that down. So I have an update on the Wade Wilson.
Okay.
The Wade Wilson?
Well, the gentleman that
Gentleman is a rough term for that guy.
Yeah, I know. The bastard that
The bastards. Fucking bastards.
People around the country have been sending letters to the judge, Nick Thompson, to spare his life. They've also so now Judge Thompson got more than 10 letters saying one letter saying please let Wade live, another one saying he's human, has his flaws, he doesn't deserve it, he deserves another possibility or rehab. So that was another one. So now there's also a petition online with more than 30,000 signatures.
All horny housewives.
One would assume.
1000%, like 90-10. It's like chicks who are like, let him out. You know, like what are you gonna do once he's not gonna date you. He's not gonna date you when you fucking let him out.
So asking the judge to spare Wilson's life. So, you know, he doesn't have to take this into consideration. The judge doesn't have to if he doesn't want to, but it could play a role here in his next hearing coming up. Sentencings will be 8/26/2024. But now there's a new discovery that came out 4 days ago. His ex-girlfriend, Malia, I believe her name is.
It's a good name.
Set him up. And he confessed to everything on a recorded line with the newscaster there.
Are you talking about this? Sorry, continue. My apologies. I was going to share this with you, and I want to make sure that this is who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yep. And so she recorded their talk that they had online, and it's been crazy. Let me pull up just
Here, a quick look. Maybe it'll explain a little bit. So, not long after arrest in 2019, his then girlfriend from jail. Throughout the conversation, he asked some questions that most people would want answers to, like what did Wade Wilson's ex-girlfriend Mila learn about him? Wilson begins, I fucked up badly. Yeah, you think you ran over a fucking person 100 times?
Yeah.
You know, you killed 2 people. Why are you not remorseful at all? You know.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, you got to understand what I'm telling you. He demands that she get over it. She's just into it. So when you do this and the dad puts you in jail and he says, you're too crazy to fucking walk around.
Right.
That's just what it is, man. Like no one's going to get rehab 30,000 people. It's not going to happen. What rehab could he go to undo the want to go over people and make them spaghetti, you know?
Yeah. So let me just show you a little bit of the recorded line for you guys.
He
That
blames crystal meth.
the dad called him and said, "Do you know what this happened? Do you know what just happened? Do you know what you just did?" And warns him, and you could hear you could just hear his heart just drop to the floor. Like, what are you talking about? So let me share screen. Okay, here we go.
Atrocities aside,
Let me
that's a
Make it
dad.
bigger.
uh
Pull it. Yeah.
bear with me here. There we go.
She said where are y'all at? She said she's not going to leave me.
Okay, well, let me tell you the truth. Do you know anything about media or anything with her?
No, what happened?
Okay, so
His heart dropped. His heart dropped into his stomach, and his stomach is thudding right now. He knows something bad's coming.
yesterday when you called, she set your fucking ass up. She had a news reporter there and had you on speakerphone, dude.
Oh,
And the news reporter heard you telling her you're the best. They've got it all over the TV. Okay, I'm getting ready to play it for you. My wife's sitting here, and she's got the story where Mila calls you a fucking monster, where she says you're a psychopath and she's your ex and you were going to kill her. And they recorded your conversation with her. Yeah. Where you're saying, don't leave me. You're the best thing ever. You know that, right? And then she's like, I'm so confused. So
that's
wow.
Yeah. So
and that was her car, right? That was Mila's car that he took, right?
Yes.
Mhm.
So right. So yeah. So explain this audio. So that's his dad, you said?
That was his dad calling him and telling him,
Mhm.
"Do you know what you just did? You just fucked up. You just, everything now." Because remember, he hasn't been sentenced yet at all.
I don't think he had been.
No, he's going to be sentenced in August, right?
Right. He hadn't even been convicted yet at this point, I would assume.
Yeah.
Because that just happened in July.
This could be a very big part now. This could play something in his future of where it's going to go because
I mean, he's guilty already. So they can't. The only thing you can change is sentencing, either the death penalty or not. It's the only two things that can happen.
I wonder, can they read now that he's, can they retry everything over again? Is my question. Can they?
No.
Why would they?
It's called double jeopardy, and you have the chance to lose the second time. You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, I'm sure he's appealing or going to appeal. They can do that, but why would prosecution want to do that? Is there something that was, brought up that had more evidence that showed that they shouldn't, or do you think, whatever he says from jail is fair game? They're recording it anyway.
Everything.
So
yeah. So yeah, you're right.
There's
that jail call. But again, they already found him guilty. So there's nothing additional they can put on him. He's either against life without the possibility of parole or death. There's nothing in between, and there's nothing else you can do. So it would just for the public to know. That would be it. But I think we already know. And there's nothing else you can get,
Yeah. I mean, she even says that, why did you have to kill her? She could have just robbed her, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I guess you're right. You're right. I'm sorry." But he's also going, "Hey, by the way, can you add $20 to my books? Cause I got to get stuff for my hygiene."
Commissary. Mm-hmm.
I'm like going,
commissary. Yeah. And then did you see the part where he blames crystal meth?
Yeah.
I hadn't seen that out of his words yet. He also blames crystal meth, claiming that he gets on meth. That shit makes him a fucking killer.
Yeah.
So that's crazy. So this is an article on Distractify if you guys want to.
But that's, regardless, He's not saying I saw something and I was, I'd been up for days and I'm seeing shadow people and I had to kill them. He's saying just by doing it
makes me want to
I feel
bloodlust
like
people.
I have to kill people.
Right.
So I mean,
wrong
that
fucking
is not
shit.
that is not even a good, defense on that one.
Yeah.
I know it makes me feel like I have to kill people. I want to kill somebody, so I did it.
I'm gonna do some more. And I'd like to. Can you put $20 in my commissary so I can buy some more meth? Thank you.
Yeah. By the way, don't forget. He's like,
Yeah.
my dad added money to it, but I have to get more stuff. Can you put? And she's like, really? She's like this. I'm like
Yeah.
going,
Really? Be like, yeah, really. I do need money.
Yeah.
But that's her fault for. I mean, I think she got the information that she wanted, but like, I think that's it.
Well,
There's no more contact.
I think maybe she got paid out of it. You know what I mean? She set him up. She got money out of the newscaster to do it.
Yeah.
And, she comes out on top.
That should be assumed that people are getting paid for information. That's assumed.
That,
Absolutely.
allegedly, or assuming that maybe she, for selling, selling him out.
It's not a hiding thing. It's like, I will give you this amount of money. Like people who take pictures of Peter Parker, who's Spider-Man, I'll give you $20 for each picture, Well, people, that really happens. People are like, because they can go to channel 7 instead of channel 4. So they can be like, well, do it here. I'll give you money,
Yeah. So there you go. That's one of my headlights. Where are you guys?
Very nice
Headlights. There we go.
Really nice
love
headlight,
that. Dude. I heard it exactly how you meant it too.
Really nice headlight you got there.
That's good headlight.
Dude,
sweet headlights, bro.
So what do you guys got?
Raunchy.
In the pocket of I mean, it could have said cherries.
God. And here's tonight's cherry popping.
Oh goodness. Who do you want to go first? Me? Okay.
You.
All right. So a South Dakota man was sentenced to decades in prison for murder of a Fauner Park. I didn't delete some of these things. A resident. So basically this Grand Island man. So this is Grand Island, Nebraska. I figured I was trying to do something close to home. In Grand Island, nearly a year and a half after a Lincoln man was killed. Hold on. That's wrong. I apologize, guys. Let me.
No worries.
I think I did. No, that's right. Yes, I apologize. Nearly a year and a half after a Lincoln man was killed at Fauner Park in Grand Island, a South Dakota man was sentenced to at least 64 years in prison for his murder. Tuesday, a judge sentenced a 21-year-old Logan Huntshorse of Wounded Knee, South Dakota, to 88 to 134 years for second-degree murder and use of a deadly weapon to commit a felony. So what had happened the night in question is that Logan had shot the victim and left, shot him in the stomach. Came back later and saw that he was not dead and beat him to death. And then proceeded to steal his, belongings and things like that. The defense argued that he is of diminished IQ and he had been brought up on charges, or they were wanting to make his sentencing lighter. So the judge did say that he has to be in jail at least 64 years. However, they had made a clear evaluation of his mental state, and they said that even if he has learning disabilities and his IQ isn't high, he made the conscious effort to shoot him, the victim, leave, come back, finish the job, and then, take away what he did. And even if he was on drugs or alcohol, they said that he knew what he was doing. So that is my thoughts.
So he's developmentally disabled?
Yes, his IQ. So he has only a 4th grade education and a low IQ.
Oh, okay. So
Interesting.
they'll put you to death in Alabama. They don't give a fuck what kind of shit you got. You can be Down syndrome. You can have the mind of a toddler, and they'll be like, you're gonna die. So
because they had determined he knew what he was doing, I think that's why they tried it and sentenced him that way.
Because it sounds like low IQ and a fourth grade education are two things that could be stopped. Like you could go to school and just because you're probably dumb because you didn't go to school, so it's a direct correlation. Yep. So I can see how they got to that conclusion. So
yeah, me too.
Crazy.
And it was cool because it was close to home, I guess.
Yeah.
3 hours away. Yeah.
Nebraska's all fucked up, isn't it?
Kind of.
Sort of, maybe.
Kind of. Yeah, kind of.
Yeah,
So, all right.
It's here.
Well, do you agree with it? Do you agree with the determination?
I do.
Or do you think we should get a break?
No, I do. I mean, it's not like they coerced him into a confession. Had that happened, maybe they had, defense would have had a different case. You know what I mean? Using his diminished capacity or his low IQ against him, right? All evidence led to it was him. There was another party involved that is also going to be sentenced for aiding in the felony. But they determined, if evidence put him there, he was determined to be that person, and I think they did it the right way.
It shook out that way. Plus, he wasn't like totally developmentally disabled, where it wasn't his cognitive function was the he was coerced into anything because he didn't understand what he was doing. That's really different than just like, I'm dumb, I'm gonna fuck, I don't know what happens after this. I don't think so.
Right, exactly. Again, it's not like they were like, oh, we know he doesn't know what we're trying to do to him, and coerced that confession or put words in his mouth. So I think if that would have been the case, we might be not having the same conversation. So
depends what state. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Nebraska, eh?
Yeah.
All right. So let's move on. I have a monster here. Would anyone like to see a monster?
Sure.
Okay. This young man here, allegedly toddler for 20 seconds after giving her a bath, causing fatal injury.
I saw toddler. My blood just boiled 100.
Yeah.
That's why I chose it. That's why I chose it, because cherries popping cherries. That's what I do, right? So yeah, this just came out, right? August 6th. Man allegedly shook this girl's toddler for 20 seconds. Imagine I can't wait for this. Rose, imagine they shake your toddler. Your boyfriend shakes your toddler and you come home. Stabbing him?
Up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck him up in what way? Like fuck your own life up too, or just his life?
I don't know. I don't even want to think about it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I'm making you think about it. I know that I know you don't want to. This is what this is for.
You know what? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I would do put in that position when it comes to my children, because the mama bear always comes out. Do you know what I mean? It's like, don't fuck with your kids. That's one thing. It's always off limits. It's always been a rule. Kids are always off limits. And for someone to do something like this to your child, I would take it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. What would you do, Sam?
I mean, I think initially, if you're the one who walks in and baby is not doing well, you're going to naturally go right to the kid and try to fix that. By that time, they're going to put space between you and said dude that shook your kid. You know what I mean? Right. So my first instinct is to go to the baby. But, if that was, regardless, if they're still breathing, I'm thinking, you're going to want to try to save, right? So I think that's initially what would happen. But if that wasn't the case, I'd probably ruin my life too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm looking for that answer. I'm looking for the ruin your life answer, because a lot of people are like, a lot of parents are like, something happens to my kid, take me to jail immediately. I don't give a fuck. But it's very different when you're actually in this situation and you go to jail because of blind rage. But if you think about it, man, if this ever happens to me, obviously we can't control what happens in the time.
Right.
But if you have a clear notion, it's like, well, if I do anything, it's going to look less like he did something. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, like you can diminish yourself. You can diminish his sentence if you go off the handle. So you almost have to be like double adult and be like, all right, I know how the law works and I don't want to ruin my life. At least I want to live long enough to see this guy fry, you know?
Right.
It's hard.
It's hard.
You know what I mean? It's hard to I don't know.
To put yourself in that situation. It's an unfathomable situation to be in where you don't know what's going to happen. But parents still go that mile and say, oh, I will fucking blah, 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 blah. Like they almost like they thought about it. But if I find this or somebody touches my kid, blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's cool. But you also have to but that tells me that you don't care about your life anymore. Right?
Well, yeah, because, you know, you're taking someone hurt your child. You're just,
right.
You know.
Yeah, right. But when my point is, when the shit hits the fan and that really happens, God forbid, you know, nobody has babies anymore out of us three, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like will it change in the moment? Like, are you still going to have that conviction? Is it going to be like a snap decision because you've already decided that your life is fucked up? Or are you going to double think it and just be like, all right, if I do this right, he'll fry, I can mourn, and I don't have to be rotting in a jail cell along with him, looking like I did something too. You know what I mean?
I don't think you think that rationally in the moment.
Right.
I really don't think anyone would.
No.
Yeah.
But again, I think initially in that moment, if you walk in and this has happened, then you're going to go straight to the kid rather than even think about him at that moment. You're going to be mad afterwards. But again, there's going to be probably some space put in between via an arrest. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to attack him because I might not see him again. You know, if you're going to take him away, I'm going to fucking fuck him up.
Yeah, but if it's between my kid dying and me killing him, you know what I mean? Initially, she walks in, baby's hurt, got to get it to the hospital. You know, that's, I guess, what I was thinking. You know, you walk in, your baby's not doing well. You're like hospital bound and calling the cops saying this is what happened. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Lawrenceburg, Indiana, right? A man faces charges for allegedly shaking his girlfriend's young daughter, causing brain swelling and pressure inside of her skull that ultimately led to her death. On July 24th, Lawrenceburg police responded to St. Elizabeth Hospital in Dearborn, which is Dearborn, Indiana, right? In Dearborn and Ohio County. It's messing me up because there's Dearborn in Michigan, and there's an Ohio County in Indiana. Fucking America. So the 21-month-old, right? So she's a year and a half.
Almost 2 years. 3 months.
2 years. Oh, there you go.
Years.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Suspicious head injury. Investigators determined that Jessie Sarton allegedly shook the girl for about 20 seconds while her mother, Sarton's girlfriend, was at work. Why are you home? Where's your work? Sarton initially told officials it was an accident, claiming that the victim stood on a stool, and the dog knocked her off. He reportedly said that he picked her up and she was unconscious. Sarton allegedly drove the child to pick up her mother before traveling to the hospital. So she was in the car with him. Okay, I don't know what he was thinking there. The girl was transported to Cincinnati Children's Hospital for emergency brain surgery. Court determines that the doctors said that the child's injuries were not consistent with shaking. Days later, Sarton reportedly confessed to shaking the child after giving her a bath. He allegedly claimed that she was being aggressive and flailing her arms and not wanting to get out of the bathtub. After drying her off, Sarton said the victim continued to cry and he placed her in the chair where the dog knocked her off. According to the prosecutor, Lynn Deddens, the girl died from head injuries at the hospital on August 1st. An autopsy revealed that she sustained brain swelling and severe hemorrhages to her eyes and spinal cord. The victim's death was ruled a homicide.
I know it's a baby, 21-month-old, but you got to shake somebody pretty fucking hard to make those injuries.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You sure do. Yeah.
Even a baby.
Yeah.
It's not a fucking rag doll.
No.
Right. And just because she's not cooperating doesn't give you the right to shake her either. And what kind of idiot doesn't know that's taking care of a baby? That's one of the things you don't do. You know what I mean?
look at his mugshot. I mean,
Sure. I wonder what the mother looks like, thinking that he would know that or care. You know, like there's got to be a certain level of mother that's like, well, she's going to be fine with him. You know, no, he's not. He's not okay. But yeah, that's coming out of Indiana, and this just happened, so we'll keep an eye on it. But he's going to certainly get something because even the doctors were like, no, she didn't fall. I know this. I've seen this. Yeah.
There's no way it was.
No.
That's sad.
So yeah, there's another shit case with another bunch of piece of shits walking around the earth. Mm-hmm.
So I have an update also on somebody that will probably never leave our podcasting updates ever.
Oh, Gypsy.
Yes.
That one girl.
I miss her.
that one little girl.
I miss me some Gypsy.
So do you guys remember when I spoke about that the influencer that was getting sued?
Yeah.
Because of Gypsy Rose. Okay, well she came on and it was dismissed. Case was dismissed. Judge was upset that it even went that way.
Mm-hmm.
So which is a win-win for her. And so that's been dismissed. I'm gonna go ahead and show you here. Show screen. And I couldn't find the article on YouTube, but I found it here. So this is a lawsuit and the charges have been dismissed. So she comes on and she explains to here and says why it got dismissed. The judge was upset. This should have never gone where it went. You know, so I'll go ahead and play it for it's a couple seconds. I'll go ahead and play it for you guys real quick.
Suing Fancy Mazzelli of the Good Wives Network. Fancy had court this morning and just posted an update. Here it is.
All charges were dismissed. The judge was not happy with him, Mr. Stanfield. He was not happy that he brought this.
Which, by the way, that is Gypsy Rose's attorney.
Got it. Okay.
That represented Gypsy Rose here for this case.
To his courthouse because he could not, for the life of him, figure out why this would be the venue that they would choose.
This court case was actually held in Missouri, and Fancy lives in Kentucky, and Gypsy and her family live in Louisiana. Fancy had to make this overnight drive from Kentucky to Missouri late last night to be at this court hearing this morning.
He made Stanfield argue that point, and without me having to say anything, he dismissed the charges.
Now, Fancy goes on to say,
so that is a win-win for her.
Yeah.
Kind of a big fuck you, Gypsy. You know what I mean?
Why did they do it in Missouri? I wonder.
You know what? They don't know. She doesn't even know.
That's when she went to jail.
Well, right, but why would they do a defamation suit or whatever lawsuit they were filing in a different state when one person lives in Kentucky, the other one lives in Louisiana?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
And I didn't realize that was a thing that you could.
You can even do that, right? Well,
Yeah.
the same way you can make it. I live in Nevada and you live in Nebraska, but we can have a company in Delaware.
Well, that's true.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't know why that's even a thing, but it is a thing.
Yeah.
So now the other things was it just appeared. By the time this airs, it's going to be about 2 weeks from this happened. Last Friday, allegedly, police showed up to Gypsy Rose's house because she had gotten in a fight with her stepmother. So now there's that going on, and there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of allegedlys and
Everything's alleged until
allegedly.
everything.
So there is no proof of anything that I've seen. But these are all going around between YouTube and TikTok, and my feed's getting crazy on this stuff. Also that allegedly the stepmom wants to. She's now playing the role as the mom of Gypsy, like saying, hey, and apparently, allegedly, CPS now is involved for this baby that's coming in case.
Why? Wait, I was just told by Sam the other day that, and you, that no one can take away your baby before and you can just take it home, no matter if it's a crack baby.
Well, I mean, if they have
what are we
reason,
doing?
they'll test you if you come in shaking of withdrawal and have a baby, or the baby shows signs. But if you have a normal happy baby, and even if you have no home to go to, is what
it's not even born
saying.
yet, though. It's not even born yet. What are we doing?
Well, and that's what they're saying is that allegedly
it doesn't make sense.
Gypsy Rose can't take care of herself because she's not living. She's still, she's still living at home.
That was my point last week.
They're saying that, just for the concerns she can't take care of herself, she can't do anything on her own, she can't even get a job, and now she's pregnant. The concern
But
is
it's her baby. But it's her baby. Take it home.
Well,
remember?
Yeah, but we won't know until after all this comes out. After this baby's born, we won't know. But apparently, even Ken, they're not engaged. It's just her boyfriend has spoken out allegedly, saying that he doesn't even think that she could take care of this baby.
But that doesn't matter. The mom has the whole sign, the whole thing. We talked about this at length. The mom has everything to do with it, and she's the one that decides. Doesn't matter what the dad says. She can have the baby, and CPS can't get involved until the baby's born and lives in squalor. And then even you said that doesn't matter either.
Most of the time, unless somebody's called.
So what are we doing?
But also you have to remember what each county has different CPSs. Everything works differently. Like for us, the system's failed for a lot of these children that should be helped. It is. CPS does fail on it. Every county, every system is different. They're not the same on a thing. So I don't know what the rules are over where she's at with CPS, what it's like. I don't know.
And honestly, they really, I mean, with that, as far as a CPS being called, she's not showing it's if she was, say, drinking and pregnant, they could go, hey, CPS, she's endangering, blah, blah, blah. But really, CPS can't do anything until baby's born. So when baby's born, CPS can be waiting, you know what I mean? And test baby for, it could be for fetal alcohol syndrome or whatever. If that happens, then that is probable cause to take baby from Gypsy. But I don't understand. I mean, unless she's doing something to harm the baby, I don't know why calling CPS would do anything.
Right.
Well,
which is what we talked about last week.
Yeah. Here's the other thing that came up. Allegedly, there is a recording. Hopefully I can find it real quick. There's a recording where Gypsy's talking to somebody and they're telling her they've already explained to her that she's not allowed to contact inmates in prison, right?
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly she was contacting someone that was in prison. They have a recording with her say
everything in prison is recorded. As soon as you call a prison, everything is recorded.
Stating that, hey, you know what? There's an app. You can hide your phone calls. There's a way to do it. Just lie to your PO and you'll be fine. So, and they already told Gypsy she's not allowed to do that. They gave her one slap on the wrist and apparently they caught her again.
Literally a crime to call.
These are all allegedly I'm waiting to see. Hopefully there is like a proof of documentation, something that I can show you guys besides what I just hear from, YouTube and TikTok and stuff. But I've been looking and I haven't found anything on there. I haven't found anything about that the police were called last Friday, but that is something that's going around. So I just want to make you guys aware of the updates on this one.
You always give me more questions.
I know.
There's always a million questions. There's always a million questions.
So many things.
Yeah. So there's something called SecureTel inmate phone service, right? So that's probably what they use so every time you call I know this for a fact because I've called people in prison a lot, and everything's recorded. So as soon as they get the line, it's like, hello, this is a call from Florida State.
Yeah, and it tells you.
Right? And it tells you this call's recorded and everything is recorded and then screened over to like the warden and all those people. So that's a given. That's recorded as a given. My question is, even if there is an app that allows you to, like, they're going to know that you're not saying anything and the other person's not saying anything. You know what I mean? Unless AI or something is replaced, that's got to be very expensive.
No, because even if you hear to the recordings of the Wade Wilson, if you go back and you hear from the beginning, he actually even tells her, "Don't forget to get this phone because I don't want anything to get recorded and set out." And he mentions a type of name in the beginning of the segment of his of that clip. So he also says, this is not the first time I've heard it from here. I've heard it also on when it was the phone call that he had with his ex. He even says, "You need to get this type of phone," or so. I don't know the name of the phone, but he tells her so it's not recorded or leaked. So I don't know if
completely
maybe
backfired. That didn't work at all, did it? You know?
Yeah, it did
Aren't
not work
prison
for him at
phones
all.
still like pay phones and hardwired though?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you know
It'd
what?
be really hard to mess with that. You know, right? I mean, if they're hardwired in, it's pretty easy to tap the phone or have it recorded.
I got this. Let's see here.
Here's the thing that I don't understand too. I mean, I know, and I mean these are late nights that I'm up just looking at things. I've seen prisoners on their phones battling on TikTok. How does that work?
That's probably super minimum. Like I'm there for a couple of weeks, white collar crime, but like that doesn't.
Or I'm there for a little while, but I didn't do anything, aggressive.
Or people have
Okay.
some people go to jail and they go to work all day and then go back to jail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, the thing too. I think I have it here. Gypsy Rose.
Oh, there you go.
Caught violating parole, facing prison again with that mug. Gypsy Rose Blanchard in trouble again. Violations stemming from challenges she's facing from rebuilding her life. But it looks like I'm trying to find the actual thing. Public oversight. Okay, I know you're giving the whole story, but we want to get to the phone part. So she's actually, you're right. She's contacting people in prison.
Mm-hmm.
So discovered Gypsy Rose had been engaging in prohibited communications, which include phone calls and emails, and several individuals from her time in prison. The situation escalated when her parole officer issued a warning after these communications were uncovered, signaling the severe consequences of any further action. She's further complicated by her interactions on social media, public platforms where she attempted to reshape the narrative. Despite her efforts, her activities have been contradicted on the persona she tries to project. Moreover, these recent interactions promises made to Amelia about helping elevate her case for clemency. So Amelia is the person in jail, right? She's trying to elevate her so she can get clemency, which is, get off scot-free.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is not only damaged her credibility, but also strained her relationships for those who were once close to her in the prison system.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like, Gypsy faces the possibility of a real return to prison. The question arises, can someone deeply conditioned by years of abuse and manipulation truly reform? Her case continues to be a poignant reminder of the long-lasting effects of psychological abuse and the complex path toward redemption.
Ooh, couldn't have said it better myself.
Yep. So that is that update there.
In conclusion, bitch crazy.
Yeah.
It's just fucking nuts.
Bitch crazy.
And she needs to go maybe, I don't know. I you know what, I'm just gonna have a sit. Cheers, everyone. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers to you.
Cheers.
Oh, I'm drinking
Cheers.
water tonight.
I'll join you soon. I'm in detox.
I'm drinking water tonight. So
Yeah. Well, it's not Friday, so
right. Fridays.
or is it? Or is it?
Monday's dealer's choice.
Yes.
Yeah. It's our detox day. But Miss Sam?
Okay. I pulled a few. We'll do this one. So a murder suspect featured on America's Most Top Wanted. America's Most Bottoms. That's what you're really going to do. Most Top Wanted. Okay.
Most toppiest bottoms.
So a murder suspect, let's start that again, featured on America's Most Wanted, spent 20 years on the run. Turns out he was working as a cop. So back in Ohio, in a bar in Ohio, there was a suspect featured on America's Most Wanted for fatally shooting outside of a bar in Ohio 20 years ago. He was actually arrested in Mexico, where he's been working as a police officer.
Oh my God.
Antonio El Diablo Riano is 62. He pled not guilty in Butler County Court on Monday to murder charges in the death of a 25-year-old Benjamin Bacara, who was shot outside a Roadhouse bar in Hamilton, Ohio in December of 2004. So this dude, he runs and he goes down to Mexico, becomes a cop, and then they found him. So I thought that was kind
That's
of
incredible.
ironic.
But remember, all the bad people come from Guatemala.
Right.
Oh.
Looks like
That's
20
incredible.
years ago when this happened, he was looking for a fight. There had been a fight in the bar that he was going to. He left, came back a few days later and tried to go behind the bar for some reason. And the person he shot was trying to get him out from the bar, and he shot him in the face and went into hiding.
Normal activity. Shoot him in the face.
Yeah.
Shoot him. There he is right there.
Yep. That would be it.
El Diablo.
Wow.
I wonder what that means.
Oh.
I don't know.
20
I don't know. I don't know
years.
what El Diablo means. It means the devil. It means the devil.
Wow. Just crazy. 20 years he was on the run, and they actually found him.
Says he wanted to help the people of Mexico.
Yeah.
Well, look at that one girl from what was it, she did 6 years and she got away with it. From Go Find Me Fish, the Nebraska, the one from Nebraska. Yeah, she did 6 years, and I mean, she would have got away with it. It wasn't her little dumb mistake she made. I mean,
I
she
know,
was
right?
already on
It
the
wasn't
fucking
for you
clear.
pesky kids, you pesky Scooby-Doo kids.
That's all I could think about right there.
Yeah. I'm asking him, it's like, I'd get away with it if it wasn't for you kids. That's right. But yeah, he doesn't look like a Diablo. The guy looks like he sells oranges.
I don't know. He has that, even in that picture, he has that proud air, like, don't F with me type of a,
Yeah, he kind of does.
Here in the name for a reason.
Antonio Riano. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna be good. He's gonna. I mean, they extradited him, obviously. So, like, to even go to another country to get somebody, that's extradition, right?
Yep.
So one of the reasons you couldn't go get Julian Assange or whatever, or people at the top of our list, is because he went to the embassy and he's chilling out in England, and there's no way you can extradite him. So that's why a lot of people go to places like, what's that place? Greece. Greece is somewhere that you cannot extradite. So if you see people going to Greece a lot, or like going there and move there permanently, you might want to ask the question, what do they do?
Yeah. What are you running from?
that we can't take you out of. Right. Exactly. So yeah, that was your story.
Yeah.
Cool. So, is it me again?
It is.
Yep.
Okay, fine. Anybody watch Rick and Morty? Fine. I just had this one here where where'd it go? So we'll go back in here, and this chick, well, actually, let's do this one. So we did this boy, and you did that one. This looked like a fun one that not fun for them, fun for us.
Right for us.
Fun for us. I mean, I'm not laughing at the death. What I'm laughing at is more so the hunt of this.
Right.
Forget the people. I'm not really talking about the people. So, August 6th again. A man's partially, I try to get it out there. Man's partially dismembered body put in a shopping cart, then taken on a train, and then set on fire near New York City.
That's a lot.
That's a lot to take in. That's what she said.
Okay, wait a minute. So he cut the body up, put it in a shopping cart, took it on a train.
Yeah.
Because nobody bats an eye on.
What's hard to understand?
And then he was like, "Burn, baby, burn, bitch."
So
right?
burn, bitch. So, So one more time, man partially dismembered body. So pieces of the man were put in a shopping cart, and taken on the train nonchalantly, just like throwing a bag over your shoulder, like have pieces of a guy, and then they made it to their destination. It looks like Yonkers, New York, and set the remaining. My question is, where's the other part, and where'd you come from?
Right.
And wait, where'd he set it on fire in New York? And who doesn't know?
All beautiful questions.
I've got a lot of questions. I've got
all
so many
beautiful
questions. I'm like, isn't there a smell? isn't there? I don't
Not
know.
if
it's
not if it's soon
fresh.
enough. You buy a piece of
But isn't there blood dripping?
when you buy a piece of pork at the supermarket, is there blood and does it smell?
Well, they put it in like a bat, like they wrap it up and put it in like a butcher paper and wrap it
I
up
would
and put
put
it in
I
a
would put
bag.
you in a bag if I would chop you up.
God damn it! That's it. I'm never going to Vegas again. Fuck that shit.
I mean, anyone, not you. So the police are investigating.
Sam, now you know. Next time, now you know. If I disappear, I might be in his refrigerator somewhere.
That's right. No, if I move to Greece,
Well, then he'll invite us over, like in Hannibal.
right?
And then
Come
make
over.
hamburgers.
Where's Rose? I haven't seen her in a couple weeks. Oh yeah.
Don't worry, go
Let's drink
find her
this
in
bottle of
Mexico
Chianti.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bottle of Chianti and fava bean.
She's down at the bottom of the feet or somewhere.
She's stuck in the sink. You know the sink liner. There's like pieces of her in the sink. So police are investigating a man's body that was set on fire in a shopping cart and left under a bridge in Yonkers, New York. Monday, August 5th. That was yesterday.
Wow.
For those people paying attention, approximately 2 a.m. officers responded to an Oak Street bridge in Mount Vernon. Fire departments officials had initially gone to the scene for a report of a fire, but discovered a body after extinguishing the blaze.
Jesus.
Yonkers police, those are pieces of a dude. And Yonkers police investigators believe the victim had been placed in a shopping cart and apparently set on fire at that location. Police said that Yonkers, New York, and just outside of New York City. And police said that they could not initially determine whether the victim had been dismembered or the man's body was missing teeth and hands. In an updated news release, Yonkers police said that the body was set on fire in Yonkers, but was merely a dump site. They named the New York City Police Department as the more appropriate primary investigative agencies for this homicide.
Wow.
Investigators searched the apartment in the Bronx and discovered a gun, drugs, teeth, and body parts. Officials reportedly believe that the victim's body was transported on the Metro North train to Yonkers, where it was left. The victim's identity and manner of death are not being revealed. I think we know the manner of death. The cause of death remains a mystery, but you don't have to tell us that. I mean, you kind of explained it. And so there's a little bit more.
So did they search his house then?
His apartment, yeah.
Okay. I was like, I heard you say searching of an apartment, but I didn't hear that it was his. And I don't know. Crazy.
No, you're right. You're totally right. Let me go here. Let me show you this. Share this tab instead.
I just want to know. I don't know. I've never been on the train stations in New York, so I have no idea. But
okay.
What did you find
the subways
are
pretty.
Nobody's checking your bag. No, there's no bag check. There's no this is America.
I mean, I know here our trolleys, they don't allow shopping carts in.
No, you can take the bag, take the train on the bag, and then get off, get a shopping cart, and then go to you know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Because I'm thinking he's rolling around town with the shopping cart.
He brought the shop. He put the
shopping cart on the train.
Yeah, from the title of your story. Put in or killed or dismembered, put in the shopping cart, rode on a train, then set on fire.
You're right. That's chronological. Yeah, you're right. Let's read that again. So, it looks like and then okay. So here it is.
Maybe.
Yonkers investigators. The victim had been placed in a shopping cart and apparently set on fire. You're right. I mean, it could have happened either way. And how do they know where the shopping cart came from and what store is it from? And I have so many more questions also. But
get mad at the person at the TJ Maxx or Marshalls or Ross or something. Just say, you know
right,
what?
seriously. Get your ass. Fuck you. Hello. You don't tell me hello. Little guy at the
greeter at Walmart. Did they not greet you at Walmart?
The old man that who's on his last job to pay for his his grandson's baseball league or whatever. So at 2 a.m. August 5th, this is from the Yonkers Police Department actual website, so take it with a grain of salt. The Yonkers Police Department responded to the southern sidewalk of the Oak Street Bridge, and which is the jurisdictional border of the Mount Vernon Police Department, and they called them in, and then Westchester County Police and officers of Mount Vernon Fire Department, they responded to this lifeless body. Upon arrival Yonkers police officers located a body and placed it in a shopping cart on the sidewalk and apparently set it on fire. So I'm thinking it's like a ritual. It sounds like a ritual to me. Like, why would you do so much unless you're trying to burn the evidence? But then, in which case, you wouldn't do it in the middle of the street.
Right.
Detectives from a major case squad and crime
Weird.
scene unit conducted a thorough investigation of the scene, canvassing the area, processing the evidence, and establishing a foundation in the preliminary stages of the investigation. Later that day, investigators officially deemed the investigation to be a homicide. No way. You think the guy fucking burned himself, chopped him up, and burned himself? And took the train. Pieces of him took this. I'm just going to Yonkers, burn myself.
Now then there would be dripping blood. Yeah,
right. Exactly.
Because your heart's still pumping it out.
Okay, so here's the other thing. Like, wouldn't he have blood on his body? You know what I mean? Like,
after I'm a butcher all day, after working as a butcher all day, I can change my clothes and not be a butcher.
I guess you're right.
Mm-hmm. Maybe.
I don't know. This is just an odd story because
totally. And then the evidence has discovered that it determined that while the body was set on fire in the confines of the city of Yonkers, it appears that it was merely a dump site, and more appropriately, primary investigators should be the city of New York. So it was like on a street that it's like city of New York, Yonkers. So it's almost like the person also knew that it was probably a good place to put it because they would fight over whose jurisdiction it was. As such, this investigation has turned over to the city of New York Police Department and the Bronx County District Attorney's Office. So any further inquiries should be put there. And that's from the media. It's from the Detective Sergeant Frank Didamizio. Hey, how you doing? Look, hey, it's Frank. I tell you what, don't ask no more questions. That city in fucking New York. So it's a weird fucking, it's a weird thing. Weird. I don't know. It looked like ritualistic, but then
I was thinking it seems pretty ritualistic. Well, at least with the dismemberment. I mean, why only take hands and teeth? You know what I mean? Typically, if you're dismembering to, get rid of, dispose of, you're going to probably take more. You know what I mean?
Fingerprints and teeth are, I kind of get that because the fingerprints and teeth are,
I guess maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
But is there any other part that distinguishes? No, right? Just teeth and
maybe.
Teeth and hands? I'm just trying to get into this guy's psyche. Or a girl. Probably a girl.
Jeez.
You crazy chicks.
Crazy.
Stop dismembering people, you crazy chicks.
All right. My next story here is another update. Do you guys I don't think you were here for this one, AC. Do you remember I did a story about the 10-year-old little boy who was autistic, that the gentleman in the Mercedes, because so this is what happened. The little boy was walking across the street with his sister. And he's an autistic little boy, and the guy this gentleman was stopped at a stoplight, and it had the Mercedes symbol on the hood of the car. The autistic little boy was just curious and hit it, and I guess he broke it. So the sister takes him to.
I'd fuck that kid up.
You know what? Don't get me started, AC. Don't get me started here,
you can be autistic. I don't care if you're artistic. I don't care if you're autistic. Somebody owes me a new fucking emblem.
So then the gentleman is irate, gets out of his car, and slaps him. Okay. And people are recording this. Okay. Now the community has come together, and they're helping this family. Not only that, the family's homeless, And the sister's like, look, he's autistic. I'm really, really sorry. Like, she was apologizing. They didn't run. They didn't hide, And they went to court. His name is Scott and didn't show up for court. But his attorney did. And his attorney says that he apologizes. He feels bad for what he's done. If he would have known he was autistic, he wouldn't have done that. This has been more than 3 times.
He would have. I mean, that's true.
I'm sorry, but he would have hit somebody else's child. Yeah. Though, I mean, regardless if they were autistic or not, it's wrong, and it's assault on a child.
That's right. That was my question. Does it even matter to you guys if he was autistic or not?
Yeah,
it matters.
I mean, no, autistic or not, no, he should have never put his hand on a child.
Other people's kids, right? Of course.
No,
so that was wrong. But is it now more magnified because he's autistic? Yes. I don't think we'd be reading about it if he wasn't autistic.
Well, the fact that regardless if he's autistic or not, the fact that you put your hands on a minor. This is a
Right.
minor. You went and you put your hands on.
However, that happens a lot. So, but I think we're reading it because he's autistic. You know what I mean? Like, it
Yes,
just
and
magnifies it.
honestly, the whole thing is with this family when they've found the family, they've been living in a car for months on end. I mean, they had his sister and he had just gone to the store for their groceries for the day. So because of the attention on him, they've been helped quite immensely. A local rapper has been helping. They started a GoFundMe just so they can have, they put him in contact with housing so they can, get off the street and out of, and he can have the care he needs to. So
Yeah. And
there's a lot of it. There's a lot of attention brought to
I'm gonna
these.
say something so
people.
horrible. You guys are gonna hate me so much.
Why are we gonna hate you?
wait, before you say that,
Mm-hmm. I'll hold.
I think I want to play this clip and then I want to hear your thought afterwards.
Okay.
And see if that will change your mind on the thought.
It won't. It won't.
All right, then say it. Spill the beans. Spill the
No,
beans.
no, play it. You're right. We should hear the information and then do it. My dogs are barking.
Okay.
Obviously touched him under any circumstances. My client has an acceptance of responsibility.
And tonight we're hearing from the attorney representing that man in the video you see slapping a homeless autistic boy in the San Fernando Valley. Welcome back to KCAL News at 8 o'clock. I'm assignment editor Mike Rogers. Our cameras were in court today. The suspect, though, was not. It doesn't have to be. It was a misdemeanor in a city attorney's prosecution case. We'll show you the video that started all of this. This is the video that went viral. The man in the video comes up and slaps the boy in the face. This all happens after apparently he damages the hood ornament on his car. Today, after court, the attorney told us that that's not all that happened. The boy was running out into the street, the sister following him. He was frustrated. Apparently, the third hood ornament he's had to replace on his.
You know what? You have a fucking Mercedes. You can fucking afford to have an like.
What if an autistic kid comes by and just like rips off your Chevy Tahoe, your favorite car, the Z whatever, and just rips off the emblem?
I have kids.
So
I have kids.
Does that make
I
it okay?
understand. You know what? No, it doesn't make it okay. But I'm not gonna fucking smack them.
I hear you. Yeah, that's not the way you operate. However,
I don't. I mean,
it's his third one.
Not acceptable.
No, of course not.
It's not acceptable.
But
There's different ways to handle it. There's different ways you can do it. Say, hey, okay, you.
How would you do that?
Also, had it been a grown ass man, would he have done the same thing? I mean, honestly.
My next question. Mm-hmm.
Had it been, would he have done the same thing? He saw a child. It's somebody easy that I can take my aggression out on, and before and he probably didn't even think of people recording or it being reported. Who's going to believe this kid over me in a Mercedes is probably what he was thinking.
Well, yeah, totally. So if they're getting all this help now,
mm-hmm.
Just saying. I mean, maybe a slap was worth it if they're getting all this help now.
I mean, it doesn't excuse the crime.
Sure, but a little slap. He didn't really slap the fuck. He didn't go like. He just fucking
apparently
one of those.
Well, no, apparently they're saying that the actual video. These are just slips and bits. Apparently, the video actually you hear a big I guess they say
that wasn't the slap.
No, that it's harder than what it really shows. Like I don't know. I haven't. That video has not come out. This is the video that has been out. This is the video that's been out, but apparently there's another angle that they have that's in court right now. That's the one that they're showing. It's the sound. This video doesn't do it justice what they're saying. I don't know. I can't say for that, but I don't care who you are. You shouldn't touch no one else.
I agree.
Like I said, kids.
But now that it's done. Now forget it. It's done. I know what we shouldn't do, but now that it's done, kind of. I would put my autistic kid, if I was homeless and my kids were homeless, I would put my autistic kid like this and have somebody slap them as long as they make me a GoFundMe. You know what I'm saying? Because now they're in a much better position.
I don't even think
you can't argue that.
What about the mental psychology, like the mental of this child?
The kid's over it. You can't remember. He's autistic. He's thinking about something else already. You know what I mean? Like I understand what you're saying.
Obsessing over it. I mean,
I know, or maybe he's obsessing about it. Let's ask him.
Or what about the sister? The sister that was with him. You know,
Mhm.
I mean, that's also traumatizing. Have some fucking guy come out and just smack your little brother and not be able to do anything.
Aren't you always talking about how soft we are?
Yeah, but I think this is a total. Yeah, I'm sorry. This is a total different story. For
Okay.
me, it's like there's ways to handle things, especially when it comes to children. You know what? Talk to him. Hey, can you call your mom? Make sure she comes. I'd like to speak to her. My car's fucked up. How are we going to handle this?
We're not. I'm homeless.
It doesn't matter. But there's ways. There's ways to
I hear you.
handle things. There's ways to talk. Maybe he would have had more sympathetic and been more understanding, knowing their situation. Maybe if he took that time to say, "Hey, you fucked up my car," and listen to the girl while she's yelling at him. He's autistic. He's autistic. You know.
I hear you. Everybody's got something. You know what I mean? You sit and talk to everybody. I don't know. I hear it's you should never hit a kid, especially if it's not yours. Man, there's no hitting. Yeah, don't touch my kid. The whole thing. However, that's done. That we're past that now. So it happened, and we have to come to terms with that. Yeah, there was ways he could handle that completely different, and that was stupid. That was fucking horrible. You never hit a kid, and on top of it, the kid is developmentally disabled. However, now that we understand that it's already happened, the outcome is not as bad as we thought because they're in a better position now than they were before. I know you don't want to hear
Yeah.
that, but they are.
No, but you can't look at it that way for everybody. That might not happen for everybody.
You're right. You're right. But now that it happened, but this is the case we're talking about. In this case, they got a GoFundMe, they got housing, they got a wrapper on it, they got people in the community. It ended up being not as bad as it sounds.
There's
I know
definitely a
this is-
silver lining to
Yeah,
the whole incident.
Yeah, and if he's not traumatized, and if he's not, going like this, obsessing about it, then it kind of worked out. I'm not saying it's good. What I'm saying is the outcome was better than people expected. You know, like, oh my God, this kid's going to be all fucked up forever. I don't know. Now they got a house. Now they got some walking around money. I don't have to go to the store every day to see what they're going to buy. Now, it's not going to be forever, but at least it's a hand. It's a hand. It's a community hand. You know? I know.
Yeah.
Different perspective. You weren't expecting that one. I get it.
No, but you know what? I mean, it also could be completely different too, because we don't know the outcome. Why we don't know why they became homeless for one, and
True.
the attention that they're getting. Maybe they don't. Some people don't know how to handle attention. Some people don't know. I mean, we've
You
done
know
a
how to
lot of
handle money.
cases.
You know how to handle
Or,
money.
You know, this could go either way. It's a 50-50. It could, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't see it that way because no matter what, if you can't handle attention, that's fine. Don't get attention. Just get that check. Let's get that. Just give me that check. I know exactly how to handle money. And the point that we live in this squalor and we live in a car is because we don't have any money. So I know the slap sucks. Your parents, it sucks. You only see it from those eyes. From somebody who doesn't have kids, I'd be like, man, they're better off. Just saying.
Let me play you another snippets here of his attorney, and then I'll play you a snippet of their attorney.
It's a misdemeanor, so that should tell you everything. It's not even a felony.
Well, I think let me just play it and I'll let you guys.
Extremely saddened and remorseful about the incident. Had he had knowledge that this young boy was autistic or had some disability, he would have never approached him.
He has his reasons, I guess. I surely would have shown my face if I had committed such a heinous act against a defenseless, homeless, autistic child. The more he delays this, the longer the public will judge him outside of this court.
Yeah, and Susie, in that interview, you heard the defense attorney say that if he had known the boy was autistic, he would never have approached him. A reporter pushing.
Does that make a big difference?
No.
No, it doesn't. It's a
Exactly
child
what-
is a child is a child. You don't go hitting children.
Yeah, hitting children is unacceptable at every level. And you said it yourself. You don't even hit your kids. So not much less anybody else is going to hit the kids, right?
No.
But in this situation, the
I
outcome
know there's a positive side. I
wasn't
know
as bad.
there's a positive.
Because they wouldn't have gotten any money. Nobody even knew they were alive and struggling, and now they do.
Yeah, but let's say that didn't happen. Take that scenario out. Take that scenario out.
Then I agree with you. It's horrible.
Because it could have been a whole different outcome. It could have been, I mean, social media, people are harsh. We don't live in a...
No, not the kids.
You know.
Not the kids. There's always a GoFundMe. There's always a help. There's always that. There's so many people that things happen to that their lives have been turned around because the social media has been like so good. Did they squander it? That's something different. But There's always
Push
help
me in
for
a
kids.
shopping cart, throw me in the middle of Las Vegas, and if I get hit,
Set
can
you
we
on
start a
fire.
GoFundMe account?
Set you on fire. Well, there's got to be something left of you to fund.
Right.
so you have to live to get that GoFundMe. So yeah, and especially if there's a sob story, GoFundMe has turned so many lives around because of that. There's people who need operations that people have gotten. I only need $3,000 for an operation, but you have $200,000 now because everybody donated. Was that fair? You know what I mean?
Gypsy Rose and her registry that they all bought all that shit. So don't get even started there.
What?
Well, I don't know if you heard,
The
she
Gypsy
did a
Rose registry? Yeah, she should.
and everybody bought it like $700.
She has
fucking
fans.
Bitcoin.
She has fans. People love it. That you don't want her to have fans is different than the fact that she has fans. She has fans.
I know.
That's why she's so popular. And
I
people
know.
like us, we're the enemy of those fans, which at any moment people are going to be like, why are you fucking with Gypsy Rose? It's just going to happen. That's what it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that
Motherfucker.
concludes our evening of the night. And it's been wonderful. Thank you guys. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And help us reach our goal. We're so close. So we're right there.
Yeah.
And,
find us on YouTube and on Twitch. And we're going to be on several audio platforms like Spotify. Dun, 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 taking our videos. You're going to be able to see our videos on Spotify if you want to. If that's something that you are a diehard Spotify guy or a gal, you can do that there. And if you want to come see us on YouTube, you can do that too.
yes. And our shows before Monday nights, they will be airing Sunday nights prior to Monday. So if you want to get maybe a day ahead of our show on Spotify,
yes.
Go ahead and you can click on Spotify. You'll be able to listen to it there and hear us Sundays. And then Mondays will be airing on here.
And eventually, guys, I would do this. Take advantage of that because eventually that's going to be something that's probably for paid members only. So make sure that you do this now because soon, as we gain popularity, it's not going to be free no more.
Get on the ground level.
Yes. And Sam, I know you have a show coming up, which is I'm so excited for. When is that? And tell us a little bit.
Yeah, it's How Was Your Day? My husband, Dave, I am Dave, and me do our show every Wednesday night. AC calls it a variety show. It was very much that. We do lots of things. I tell news stories that have more comedic value to them. Not all, murder and things.
You don't talk about people set on fire.
Well, sometimes, sometimes people end up dead, but usually in a funny way.
The best way possible.
Yes. People can call in or leave voice messages up to a minute long on our IG. It's just a really fun show. We do it 8 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Pacific, and 9 p.m. Eastern. So every Wednesday night.
Thank you guys for all joining us, and we will see you all Friday with cocktails and shots and drinks. So make sure you guys have all that ready.
Yes.
Yes, and special guest.
Yeah.
Well, we will have just had a special guest. Yes.
Yes. And
join us every Friday for that.
Yes. Yes. Every Friday. AC will be on a stripper pole somewhere. No,
that's our live stream. That's our live stream. I'm going to be dancing. In fact, I have my new studio that I'm working on here. That's why I have a blank background. So it's going to look a little different. By then, I will be on the pole. I have a stripper pole here that I've lined with KY. And it's going to be funny to watch me go up the pole.
Yes. So everybody have a wonderful night. We will see you guys Friday night. See you later all. Bye.